High-performance pool playing at its finest here at the Derby City Classic 2018 edition. Hello and welcome, pool fans. Great to have you along. I'm Mark Wilson, and next to me in the booth, providing broadcast excellence, is the Kentucky Colonel, Nick Varner. Pretty close lag there, and you know what? That was almost inside the point of the pocket, in which case Justin would have lost, but he won the lag, and only barely, Nick.
Yeah, I know, and last match, Francisco won the lag and never looked back after the lag. He just took control from the very first game, but this time he finds himself, that lag so important. They're playing a race to 3, and if it comes down 2-2, that last break shot can be huge, and we saw it this past year in the Moscone Cup in December, where the first 2 days, all 10 matches went exactly with whoever won the lag. So the lag is really an important shot. I know years ago when I was playing in the World Straight Pool tournaments, you really had to practice your lag because it's hard to break safe in straight pool, and a lot of times you might never get another shot, or if you did, a lot of times you was down 80, 100 to nothing right off the reel.
Right. Well, much like many of the other players, Bergman breaking from well off the side cushion. That means the table's playing slick, trying to defend the 12 ball here. Good job there. Opened them up.
I like that break. I like that break. He got a lot of balls loosened up, and if you notice where that cue ball's at in relationship to that middle diamond, usually the best place to leave the cue ball is around that middle diamond, maybe slightly above it, and he is slightly above it. He'd like to have frozen the cue ball in that rail for Bustamante, but still he got a lot of the balls open up where he's got a big threat going here, and Francisco seems to be looking at how he can get underneath there.
Tough spot to be because there's banks, so he can't just the only way to lag the cue ball over there would be to get it for sure behind the 13. And Bustamante might be in a bad enough place here. He has to consider maybe playing something aggressive that's dangerous.
Yeah, I believe he is maybe going to...
I think he's thinking about the 7 on the 13 there. Maybe try to send it across the table. Maybe directly into his pocket, into the 5, off the 12, into the pocket, or just rearrange the balls here, see how they shake out.
Well, what makes this tough is not only is that 13 so close to the hole, is he has to protect on that 5 and 12 ball. So he's played off the top of the stack, and usually when you see somebody play off the top of the stack, the guy's really that's usually not the last resort, but close to it.
Mm-hmm. Now, Boosty did not get the cue ball pinned to the rail, so Bergman can do something with the 12 ball if he wants. And that's really Bustamante's lone threat on that side of the table.
He could cross this bank and maybe kiss it in off the 13 or the 5, the 1, or go 3 rails with it. He's got a lot of options here.
He was taking care of the cue ball and make sure that this hurt.
Now the power of that shot is he's got that 2 and 13 over here plus the bank on the 5, and he's really trying to hold that position where if he would have went ahead and shot that bank, if it don't go in, he's probably going to possibly leave Francisco a chance to turn that break around on him. So he wants to squeeze a little, Francisco a little harder.
Right. That's the boa constrictor effect right there. He's got one coil around Bustamante early. Busti's forced to lag. It's a legal hit. Great shot there.
I don't know if he can play that 6 on the 13 here. Let's see, 6. No, I don't know. 11 may be in the way, and he's looking over toward that corner pocket, and he's looking at playing the 11, maybe off that 13.
Yeah, rail first on the 11. The reason he's looking at that is that he thinks he can get the cue ball to the other side of the 5 ball with that type of a hit.
I think he can go underneath the 5 maybe and go over to where he left him after the break, underneath the 5 here.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Big trouble. Yeah, Boostie's got the 5. He's got the bank on the 13.
Yeah, what happened there, he hit that, hit the 11 a little fat. And it ran him into that ball. He wanted to go underneath that ball and bounce off, and hoping that either made it, or I think he can maybe cut this ball in here, this 5, or bank the 13. He's got 2 good possibilities here. Probably going to go with the 13 maybe, because Justin was a little hard luck there, because that 211 is tied up where this is a free shot totally.
Boostie powering up. Trying to develop something further.
I tell you what, that's not so good. He can make that 7 ball, but I'm not sure he's going to risk it. It's so thin that he has to aim so thin at that. He's liable to even miss it. But
Boostie fired that bank in like he knew he was making it, or he bet the game on it anyway.
Well, he was trying to open up the stack. He was going to try to run out the whole rack here, and it looks like he is going to go for this 7 ball. He's going to spin it in that corner pocket, and he turned her completely loose, and
it's going to work out great.
What, he's come out pretty good, and once again, look at that 14 ball there, and he's
2 and 11. They're out of play.
So, wow. These shots are a lot easier when you're playing one pocket. When look at these 2 sets of balls, Francisco, his stroke will be a mile long on this shot.
Yeah.
It'll be like it's hanging. And wow. I'll try to go forward and get on that 5.
Mission accomplished there. Well, he'd probably play position 2 cushions down for the 9 next, I believe. And just use draw, get to the long rail, and spin out of the corner. Once again, as long as he can make sure that he doesn't scratch, there's really nothing to be lost here. He can defend himself, because Justin does not have any balls that will go in his pocket.
Yeah, out of all 7 of these balls down here, not one ball goes in Justin's pocket. And see, if these balls were opening,
right,
he'd either have a lot of pressure on this shot, but there's really no pressure here, just to roll it in. And the only thing he's worried about, what he's going to play next.
Can play easily for the bank on the 6 or the 12.
And this will be ball number 6, so he's looking for 2 more. And it looks like he may play, unless the 4 goes. No, it don't go.
I think he can just bank the 6.
Yeah.
Boostie figures to get this very close. Well, he needs 2 from here, Nick.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, playing for 2. Hit that pretty nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got the bank for the out. Perfect speed. Look at that. He had it right into the pocket had it not gone in. And now at the perfect position by design.
Now, this is one of those shots where when you hit this, you're hoping that it don't. Yeah, he'd like to win a little fatter with that, because now, even though this is hard, Justin can bank this toward his hole. If he wasn't so far, he might try to kiss it in and break up them 2 balls at 211. But
Right.
one thing, as long as Justin Bergman can keep all the balls on this end of the table, a lot of people think this game's over. Well, as long as the balls are on this end of the table, he's not. The only thing that makes him a big underdog is they're just laying so ugly for his pocket. But if he, but sometime he's liable to hit one shot and loosen them all up, and if he makes one, he can run out the game.
Right.
I've lost so many games when I'd start out 5, 6, 7 to nothing, and I couldn't get them up table because all I'm thinking about here is if I can't find an easy or find an opportunity to score, is I want to get them above those 2 side pockets, because about the only way you can really usually lose when they get above them side pockets. You almost have to scratch. So always remember, when you have a big lead, either try to move them up table, and when you move them up table, be kind of careful. What's the white ball? Of course, that's the name of the game in almost every pool game. Is cue ball is the king.
Looks like Boosty's defended the 4 ball, which makes things tough. Justin has to develop some balls here, and he may have to tempt Boosty with a very thin cut on the 4 ball here if he doesn't get the cue ball right next to the side pocket.
He hates to take him up table because
Right.
because his balls are laying so bad that.
But he wants to make it tough for Bustamante to get the balls out of play too. Yeah, this is a tough circumstance.
Well, as you can see, he's opened those balls up, and I look for Boosty. He can either shoot the 4, roll it in, or else he can take the 11 and try to start moving them up table. Usually in this game, it's a lot tougher to bring the balls up table more than one at a time when you leave your opponent long on the opposite end. When you leave them down here underneath, it makes it a lot easier. A lot of times they can move a couple or 3 at a time up table. It doesn't take so long. Now you got to execute good here, because if you well, he may go roll the 4 in here.
There's some bad things that can happen if he misses. That's for sure if you roll it, because you can sell out of the bank, and you can even, if things get real ugly, you can open up something else or leave a good shot for Justin to go ahead and run out. Yeah, he hit it heavy. That was insurance to make sure he got this. Now, don't be surprised if Justin goes here. This might be his shot to win the game, that cross corner bank on the 11. He can send the cue ball right into the 2, and that would develop everything. It doesn't look like the 8.
If he can make this first bank, and then he can bank the 4, and he'll have a shot on the 12, and then he might be able to either play a bank for the 2 or spread them out when he plays the 12, and he could get back in the game here. This is critical here, though. He needs to get this first bank. He's a little thin, too. He might even here. He may even try to break the 2, 3, and 8 out as he's making this bank.
Right, he might as well. This is his chance. It's never going to be, too hard. All right. Yeah. Justin made it Bustamante's pocket. That was his chance, though. You're not going to get a better chance to win the game from here when you're trailing like that. So Bustamante is now broken serve, leads this match 1-0. Certainly don't disagree with Bustamante or Justin's decision to go.
Well, the right thought was there. The execution was not. He had to spin that ball in, and he, as you see so often happen any time on a bank when you up that speed, it shortens up so much that
Right.
it comes in. It's so easy for it to come in short.
Right. I think he shot just a little bit split-minded. He was too concerned about breaking up the 2 and the 8 and the clutter there because he had banks. He could play the 12 next. He had some shots. Even if he didn't break them up, that was all make that first shot. Yep, Bustamante now breaking to the same pocket.
Okay, Francisco wins the first game, and he breaks Justin's break right off the reel, and so to win this match, Justin's going to have to win one on
Boosty's break.
Francisco's break.
You hate to just lag over here behind the 15 because now Bustamante can kick it or take a foul and get it on the stack over there. I guess that's what it's going to be. Good job there by Justin to move the 15.
Yeah, he's actually might have a shot to even play the 7 here. Oh, kicking off that rail, that 11-7, or he can kick soft and just roll it to his hole and freeze him on that side, or he can chip it thin. No, he's kicking, so he depends on he might kick pretty firm and try to make that 7. Tell you what, Justin's got to feel pretty fortunate there because these balls were laying so hard for him because he couldn't do much more than what he did, lag in there, but at the same time, when he lagged, he's kind of setting him up for a shot where he could have got trapped big time, and he's even got to be pretty happy about this position here.
Right. It's not as ugly as it could be for sure. Justin took a look at the 6 on the 13. It's not laying right. Does want to be mindful of checking for any potential threats or dead balls.
Well, here's one option. He could bank this ball and let the cue ball catch the long rail above a chalk here a little bit and then get him down here between the jaws. And he's looking. He'd like to clear these 2 balls out and get the cue ball down here where it doesn't represent a threat, but it's... He almost has to cut it where he's liable to get a double kiss.
Right.
Look for the cue ball to go down toward these 2 pieces of chalk here. Ooh, catch the rail, he says.
That's good speed. That's a nice shot from where he was at.
Nicely done. I look for us to see another kick shot here maybe on the 1 if he can get by that 7. I look for him to kick, try to hit the top side of this 1 and kick it toward his hole. And I look for him to hit this with a little speed.
Yeah, it's pretty free. Unless he kicks the thin side of it. Yeah, that's a good shot.
He'd like to got that a hair thicker. I mean, I'm sorry, a hair thinner.
Yeah, but still productive shot. Put a 5th ball on his side. There's plenty of obstructions.
And these balls, even though there's a lot of space here, they're laying where it's a little hard for him to get them out of here. And then you got to look at this 12-13. That may be lined up awful close on a kick shot.
And once again, Justin comes to the table in a pretty good bind here to find anything that he can do.
I wonder if he can play the 14 off the 7, send the 14 over his hole. I wonder if it's setting where he can and stick him behind that 1. 15.
Be careful. Yeah, got to be careful with the 15. He did.
Yeah,
Great
see
shot.
the double kiss, but boy, he's not going to like that.
No.
That 15's an awful easy bank.
Everything was good till the object
He didn't
ball.
want to move at 14 from that 1. He would have been in a good spot if he missed that kiss, but now Francisco has got just a great bank on this 15.
Yeah, Bustamante. Gonna make it hurt. Justin's got to be planning his next inning that he may come to the table trailing 4 or 5 to nothing, and that's about the best he can hope for from here. Because it would take a major problem for Bustamante to not get 4 or 5. Good shot there. Yep.
Well, he's got a choice to make here. Go for the 2 next or that stripe.
13, yeah. Going 2, then the 13. And he can play it. If he hits it really good, he can have the 13 kind of like a break shot, straight pull break shot to dislodge some other clutter.
You see where that's where he wants the cue ball on that line where he can cut the 13 in his pocket and then use the cue ball to spread out the rest of the ball so he can get all the way out here. And
pretty good execution.
I tell you what, Mark, your hour and 10 minutes is looking better all the time here.
Yeah. No, this is
we had a little bit of we had everybody picked a number they liked, and Mark picked this match the last hour and 10 minutes or less, and another prediction was an hour and a half, and another one 2, and one 2.5. Right now, I like the under.
Well, this is the shot that will tell the tale of this rack right here. If he comes out of this with a shot, it's all over. He didn't. Okay, so much like I said, Justin coming to the table trailing 5 to nothing is probably the best that he could hope for from that circumstance.
Yeah, he's got to feel real fortunate that the damage is not worse here.
And there's a lot of balls on Justin's end of the table. They're not in front of his pocket, but like you said, you're not that big of an underdog when the balls stay down table.
Only when they move up table do you come a big underdog. And
okay, that's not the worst result for Justin because he can two-rail this, it looks like. He can do something with it. There's not much that goes in Boostie's pocket from where they're at right now.
Well, you have a lot of options here. You can roll that ball hung and bring it back down table.
That's not bad. Get it in play.
And keep it in play. And one thing, it's tougher on your opponent if Justin leaves. He wants to keep these balls down table. And it's he's maybe going to try to
move that 3.
bank this and then make that ball up at the other end, take him up table.
3 into the 6. The 5 went in his pocket.
Oh, wow.
But the 6 did too. That hurt big time. The 6 hanging. And the 4, 11, and 3 looks to be a little high, but might be throwable. Hard to tell.
Well, he's sure not looking at no safeties here. He's looking to shoot. And
boy, this is tough. It's a tough shot, and about all you can do really, it looks like, is play a stop shot there and just try to play a bank on the 8 next.
Well, this is a big shot in this match. This is one he really needs to come with here.
He needs to be committed to it. Yeah, I'm glad he stood back up because you want to make sure it's okay to play it. Make sure you're 100% sold on playing it because your stroke and body will reveal it if you're not committed. Justin knows to do anything here good. He needs to pocket this 11. Nice hit. Oh, and he could have made the 6. He did not.
Overcut it just a hair.
Yep. Can't fault him there. He'd rather go down shooting.
Yeah, it was hard for him not to shoot at that.
This is a tough one to get position from. Good job there by Bustamante, but the 10's going to get in the way. It looked like.
I think he's okay.
Now Boosty's playing for 2.
Look like when he plays this 11, he'll run into the red one, and then he can. He's jacking up a little, loading it up with a lot of left English too. Playing for 1.
It won't be easy though. Well, for me, I think he's going to play the 3 just because the 8 and the 4 do not go in Justin's pocket. No, he's not going to do that. It's a little easier time pocketing one of those angle shots as opposed to the straight in. Okay, Justin has a chance. I would have even rather cut it to 10 over here and left the 4 and the 8 there, but Grady would have said, Mark, that's an extreme act of cowardice.
Well, you know what the opposite side of that coin is. They usually put it like this: God hates a coward, but at the same time, he doesn't think much more of a fool either.
No, just
but I would have rather went down shooting like Justin there, because he had a chance to. Might not got all the way out, but if that goes, he had a chance to really bring the score pretty close. That
11 ball that he tried previous inning when he was here. Well, he put another ball back on the spot.
One thing you're not going to see Bustamante do is knock that ball that's hanging up in the pocket, or
right.
He's going to be trying to bring him the other way.
Right.
Unless he's shooting at his hole. And and notice what he did there. He just played a pretty simple shot there, and he didn't try to do anything too fancy. And I remember Eddie Taylor, he told me, when you find yourself in a really tough position, look for something easy to do. The old KISS principle: keep it simple, stupid.
Can Justin bank the 4 and send the cue ball at the 8? Or even just down table.
I just wonder, seemed like, why not just shoot the 8? Oh, I see. He's got to protect on that 10.
Well, that's a pretty nice shot.
Yeah, he's hit it pretty nice. And he put that cue ball up there on that gold bar, Mark.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
This is where you make your living down here. Now, Boosty will just be content to just roll this in.
See, where Justin just a hair, what's making his job hard here is he can't just knock that ball. He'd like to knock that ball. It's hung up there, but he can't because he's leaving Bustamante almost a free cross-corner bank. So that ball, that blue stripe there, a lot of people think that's a plus for the guy that has that left pocket, but in this case, it's actually a negative.
Looks like Justin's thinking about 2-rail on the 3 or back cutting the 9, and making a Z shot. Okay, I don't know if we can get the overhead in time, but if we do, I think he's banking the 9 here and having the cue ball go here, here, and here. Down here. Nope. He's just going to play the 8. Get that back in play.
That was a pretty good shot.
Helpful.
He improved his position. He's got 3 balls down table, and
soon to be 4. It looks like now, the way Boosty's looking.
Yeah, you might have to shoot it to 10 here toward your hole. You just need to get it really close if he elects to do that, and at least that's one option. And the balls aren't exactly in his favor here because those two balls at the upper end lay pretty good for a bank for Bustamante.
Right.
So he has to protect on all these balls, and he's he's in a tough spot here. It's tough to win from here now. The way these balls are laying, it got a lot tougher.
Wow, what a nice hit that was.
Now that'll make him think twice about shooting this 3. Because he's got an easy safe here. Just hit the stripe close to Justin's hole, hit it with high English, and just let it kind of just stick there close to the rail.
Boosty works another one into the pocket. Just what Justin didn't need.
What he could do here, it might be a double kiss, is bank this 8 toward his hole and zigzag and try to end up there by those 2 stripes and go right rail, left rail. If I see the overhead, I'll show you what I was thinking about.
There you go.
Okay, he's thinking about banking this 8 this way, and the white ball go this rail, and someplace over here, and bank that ball all the way up there.
That's what's happening, much like Nick diagrammed it. You drew it, and Justin hit it.
I had the easiest job.
Yes. Well, he saw the game plan. That was a big shot because that bought Justin a chance anyway to come from behind here.
He would have liked to got that 3 over just a little further. He might have left him where he can afford to go after this 9 here. I would think he probably won't, but he certainly has a choice here. If he can dodge this shot, he's got a real good chance in this game. He's not much of an underdog anymore playing cat and mouse because they're laying where it's not so hard now for him to protect on the balls. Before, he had a few shots. Well, that's why he had to go for the bank. That was the safest shot he could shoot. You know what I mean? Anything else he does, he can't hardly keep from leaving Francisco a shot. And he might be. And see what this part of the game now, Francisco wants to. He likes now Justin has to beat him 1 at a time, where Justin wants to try to get in position to knock him in. You won't see Francisco knock any in unless it's the last result. Now, can he bank this 10 toward his hole?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, he's going to play it. Yeah, I don't blame him because he's got to go into that 9 pretty hard. That's a good shot there.
Good speed for sure as it just trickles up on the gold bar.
Look like he can almost bank this 10, cross it, and you don't want to do that because you're going to knock in that 14 ball. That's why. But boy, if he knocks anything in here, there's going to be 1 to follow. I just wonder if he can bank the 10 toward his hole now and knock that 14 in, or it may be too big a gamble. because he could scratch behind it. You know, or he could leave a shot on the 9. Well, he'd like to knock another one in, no.
Yeah, no reason not to. Just a matter of where he wants to put the cue ball. He's checking. That gets him back in play and down table.
Okay, now he was trying to get him exactly in the center of the table there, but a little short of where he'd like to got, but he's got him on the go bar there. That in rail that's like is really a great rail to leave your opponent on. And
I think Justin's going to come out of this with a cross corner bank on the 12. Nope. Boosty played the speed so that the cue ball couldn't go down there and come back up. That's a good shot. Justin's going to have to be very defensive now.
Yeah, he'll probably just send this 2 or 3 rails to his side and try to keep him off that 12 ball where he doesn't have a bank on that 12. He has to protect on that 12. He don't want to leave him a free long railer.
Good shot.
And that's about as good as it gets there.
Good shot.
A lot of people, they sometimes try to do too much, but in this game, like most games in pool, the #1 priority is where that cue ball goes, and he kept him off that bank on the 12, and see, now when he starts to get them close to the rail now, he gets in a position where he can maybe get them back up table.
Yeah, it's an effective shot towards just what you were talking about.
Yeah, he's going to try. Francisco's going to. He's going to try his very hardest not to make any balls here, because if he gets in a position where Justin can knock another ball after he makes one, then he's got 2 down here. And as the score stands right now, 7-3. You know, once the guy gets he gets a couple more balls, he's starting to represent a bigger and bigger threat to have a chance to win this game. And there's a big difference in this match. You know, I always say it's always a mathematics problem here.
Right.
If he can somehow win this game, he's not such a big underdog. The score is 1-1 where Francisco wins this game 2-0. Now Justin's going to have to he's going to have to shut him out from here in 3-zip to win this match. And he may go for this cross corner here. Another option he has too. He couldn't make one of them balls up there.
Yeah, you got to be careful though. This is just playing for really one, but it's a big one because it gives you a chance to get the ball differential back on your side.
Oh,
what's going to happen? Something ugly. Oh,
pretty nice, pretty nice.
Valuable double kiss there on the 3.
But I look for Francisco just to do that shot he played earlier on the stripe and just hit that with a high ball and stick it, unless he has a free play on playing this 2 in the corner. Yeah, he says, not this time.
No. Uh-oh. What's happened here? No.
He's got to be a little careful here. He may just have to hit that. See, cut it toward the. No, he's.
Everything's bad here.
Yeah, he could leave him a 2 railer here.
I think just go
easy.
real light rail first. No, he was putting balls. Uh-oh.
Well, he's left him a free shot on the 12
And
here.
he can stick it right on the 14 too. Yeah, with it.
So, yeah, this is not going to turn out too good here, I don't think. For Justin.
No,
Francisco's going to probably like it. But
he's going to enjoy it.
But that ball fell really such a good angle. Like you say, just sticking behind that stripe. You can get it anywhere close to his hole.
That's a good shot. Yep. That will hurt.
Taking a foul here is probably the best thing to do. Is Francisco, if he's not coming out of that one hole,
Yeah.
I just say that shot's worth one. That's worth one. Yeah, that's outstanding play there.
Yeah. Francisco is not going to take a foul no matter what he does.
Now that will not be an option here for Francisco.
No. Anything but that.
So he has to shoot away. And
Oh, he's going in behind the 3 here. Try to defend that 12.
this is where you got to think about shooting. You have to think about shooting at that green one here, maybe. Or draw back where you're at there, hit the sharp rail. That's another option.
Man, that's tough.
But the problem is you're knocking that ball over to his side. It's going to go 2 rails toward the gold bar here.
Boy, good speed.
And if he blocks that stripe, he's really got something nice here. If you can't see that 10 ball.
Knowledgeable audience there appreciates that
got
effort.
him. That was a good shot there. Francisco may be forced to bring us down there. Try to make the 12 here. He's going to try to bank down here. No, he's leaving it up there.
He says, no.
Not going for that. Darn it, I tried to talk him into that.
He's not listening.
He's too clever.
Yeah, he's staying right there on 7 and leave that 12 right where it's at. We'll deal with anything else later. Good shot.
Yeah, that was good there. That was very good there.
Now, Boosty has a shot at the 14 here, and I think he can handle the cue ball well enough that he can go ahead and play the 14.
I don't like it because you got to shoot it so hard to play safe that if it draws, it could go right over in front of Justin's hole. I like hitting that head stripe and leaving him on maybe even a little behind it. He can play this 2 rails in his corner. That's what he's going to do. He's going to play this stripe 2 rails in his corner.
Oh, boy.
Boy, he hit that good, too.
Oh, look at that. That's going to leave a mark. That's in there so deep.
Well, it's banking time again for Justin. He's going to have to either cut that stripe in or bank this green one to get to that stripe. Because this one stripe has to go in before he can afford to knock the 12 ball in, because that's his out ball.
Overcut it.
Okay.
That will be all.
Yeah.
Bustamante needs 1 ball that's hanging in his pocket for a 2-0 lead in this match. And realistically, Nick, that's 5 straight games that we've seen Bustamante smother his opponent.
Yes.
I mean, Justin didn't have much of a chance to get on track, much like in the Josh Roberts match earlier.
Well, what's been impressive watching Francisco play these last 5 matches is his execution's just been superb. You know, he's executing so good. He's just been out executing his opponent.
Yeah. And the opponents are playing well. If they get a chance to assert themselves, they could be a real factor. But Bustamante's beating them to the punch.
Well, his opponents are not getting much chance to get loose and run a few balls and even get used to the table a little bit and get their strokes loosened up a little. Francisco's got the handcuffs on him.
I call it the boa constrictor move, where he just keeps squeezing and tightening. And all right, Justin needs to have a good break here again.
Now, for those billiard fans that love one pocket watching here, look how far out that ball is. And I think the reason he's doing that, so he can get that cue ball by hitting it thinner. He can get it back up closer to that middle diamond, or maybe just a little above that middle diamond.
It helps to deny the 10 ball from coming out too. That's the other reason on these super slick tables why guys do that.
Yeah, he's played a real good. He's played a real good shot there.
Nearly identical to Justin's first break.
I'll tell you, one shot I like here is hit the 15, and whoops, he can't hit the 15. No, can he? Except the edge, maybe, but
it's hard to tell from here. It looks like he hit some of it.
If he could hit it full, I'd just stick there and try to move that and maybe catch one of those other stripes. He may leave him froze on the 4-5 here and make the 3 hit the end rail and then bank the 2 back toward his hole, go a little left off the 3. That's one possibility. Or the simple thing here is he could hit the 12 into the 7 and freeze him on top of those 6 balls.
Not bad.
I'll tell you what, he might be able to play this 10 off the 2 here, go underneath that 15. He might have a play here, or even kiss it off the 15. I'd have to think seriously about trying to make this 10 here. I'd have to hit it with some speed and hope I can either kiss it off the 15 or kiss it off the 2. I'd have to, I think, being down 2-0, this may be time to go here.
Yeah, if he can see enough of the 10 to do that, which it looks like from our perspective he can, then he can just send the cue ball to the other end of the table. And he can hit this with a little velocity and take a little chance.
Yeah, I'd hit this with some speed. He's got to get it by. So close. If he gets by that ball, he's got something.
Good cue ball speed, though.
Yeah, he's certainly got the balls in a nice position. He's got a little pressure.
Right.
But once again, we see the bank came in short. He needed it to go a little longer to get by that 15 ball. And when you cut them balls, you just, especially this new cloth, that really grabs coming off the rail, which really shortens that bank. And it's not because he put any fancy English on the cue ball. It just, when you cut it that way, it automatically puts that reverse English on that ball. And when it hits the rail, it grabs.
Well, he's been very, very productive with that shot because he's got Boosty in a real bind here. That's really going to be hard for Boosty to escape this position.
Well, this may be where we have a little rock and roll action here. Rearrange the furniture, or he may try to go rail first and knock that 2 in. No, it's...
He was playing the 12 off the stack, or 15, I'm sorry. And what a great shot. Knocked in Justin's ball, but look at this. Got a threat over there. Oh, that's really ugly for Justin, the way that turned out.
I don't think he can. Can he make this 14?
If he can, we look for him to shoot.
Oh, yeah, he's going right between them. Yeah, he's almost got to shoot here.
And you're going to hit that 11 pretty heavy.
Something's in the way.
You're going to hit the 11 heavy, so it's not going to be easy. I guess he's going to have to try to hit enough of the 11 he can use a little bit of stun and maybe get up on the 1 from here. The main thing is make sure you make this ball. Forget position. He tried to use a little spin to get up there, and it went too long and bumped the 1 up. But all was not lost.
Well, here he's got to protect on the 11. He's got to make the 15 and protect on the 11. So I looked for him to either go toward the stack, the 4 and the 5. He's got to protect on these 2 red ones cross corner. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for him. I wonder if he can come off the 10 and knock that 15 in. That way, but he's still leaving that bank, but it might be tough for him to get position on another ball. Or he may come up, he can come up either toward the 10 here, but I don't know if he can protect on the 3 doing that. And
one thing's for sure, Bustamante's last shot was really something else. Now this is a good shot.
That's a great shot.
We're gonna get another look at Boosty's shot now. This was just superior one pocket play right here. Power up, off the stack, got the cue ball on the 2. And much like you said, rearrange the furniture.
And he was trying to make a ball.
All right.
And he knocked in the 2. That was, it shows you why he's been the leader of the pack the last few games, because he's really thinking good, making great decisions, and he's backing it up with fantastic execution.
Every time Boosty's been challenged, he's rose to the occasion, escaped. Justin's looking at thinning the 1 and trying to bring the cue ball over maybe. But like you said before, defending the 3, if that banks, that's when you go over there, that puts that back as an option.
He's still in a tough position. Just to, this might be his best shot, but boy, it's easy to spin down, leave that 11.
Can you bank the 10 towards your pocket and make sure you just, with the idea of go around the 11 and come back down table?
What you could do here is try to make the 11 and run into the 10 and move it out. Maybe, well, he's going soft. But boy, he's got to be careful.
That was a good shot, though. He got that cue ball right up there on the 10. That was very productive. Not because he's got so much offense going, but he got through that inning, and he's not going to be any worse for wear.
Well, he was in a tough spot there.
Right.
He really did make a great shot there. Now he's going to protect that 11 ball. He's going to try to bank this 10. Hopefully, it may run into the 3, but he'd like for it to get on his side of the table. And he's going to leave that cue ball and that 11 ball with that stack right in. Well, no, maybe he's going to play 2 rails in his pocket and draw him into the stack. That's certainly aggressive enough.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Francisco might have a shot on this 3-2 in the corner here.
It's really going long is the only thing I would say about that. I'm afraid he'd hit the 12 with that.
Well, he can draw it a little to the left, cut it close to that corner, but yeah, he likes this better, taking this ball to his side, I guess. On the 1.
Yeah, Lucy got him in that nether region here where it's hard for Justin to do anything aggressive. He can't bank the one into the stack, and it looks like he can't do much with the 3 either. So
he may try to roll this one in.
not the worst result in the world.
No. No, I think he'll either have to kick it. He might even kick it hard here and get the 11, try to get it on his side. Get it completely away where it's not a threat here. And he could even come off the rail, second rail. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Go right into the 8-9. I think that's what he had in mind. Leave him froze on the stack.
Looks like Justin can hit the 4, and move the 8 open and just leave the cue ball resting against the 5 here when he's done. Even at the risk of taking a foul doing that, as long as you get the cue ball pinned to the 5, you're really no worse for wear.
Yeah, I kind of like that. He might lose one here.
But it would be worth it at this point. You just cannot make sure you get safe and let the cue ball escape. That's the issue.
He's maybe is he hitting the 5 here?
Yeah, it's got some. Okay, not bad.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that shot. I like that shot. That makes it a little. It's always good when your opponent, so far most of this match, Francisco, when he comes to the table, he's got an automatic shot that just staring him right in the face. But this shot puts a little pressure on him. You don't see him bending down ready to shoot yet.
No.
He's thinking, what's the best shot here? How can I escape? And he's going to put it right in the middle of the end rail here.
That's a good shot. When you forced him to take a foul now. That's pretty strong.
So that's
high caliber play when you have all those balls open and force your opponent to take a foul just to escape the ugliness of what you've done.
Now he's probably going to shoot into the 12 ball here. He's just looking to see where the best place to put the cue ball after he hits that 12. And or maybe he went up there and doesn't think there is a good place to leave it, and he's got to do something else.
Yeah, it doesn't look that easy to leave it up there. But no, he is rolling on the 12.
Well, he wants to keep him off. Well, I guess the 9 ball's blocked by the 7 anyway, but Francisco's looking at this bank here, but this is a tougher bank here. He's got to cut it a whole bunch. And I don't think we'll see him shoot that.
I don't either, because he's betting the whole game on that shot. Basically, there's no escape. You're going to leave something if you miss.
Wow, he's going for this bank, I think. Either that or he's playing defense.
If he goes for the bank, he'll have something in mind with the cue ball. Oh, my goodness. He didn't. That was wide open offense there. A super execution. Justin once again got him back against the wall, forced Bustamante to shoot a distasteful shot just to escape.
Well, we seen him make the 9 ball, but that one was about 4 times as tough there. He come with a fantastic bank shot there, and
Yeah. If he rolls this one in, that's really going to hurt. Oh, he hit it so good. Golly. Made it look so easy. Oof. Bustamante is a
and
beast.
He had him safe on top of it there.
Yep. Is a beast. Got the position. Now he's just surveying to see how he can get the most out of this series of shots.
Here comes Boosty.
Yep. Well, he wouldn't have minded having an angle when he got done with that. He got real straight in.
Yeah, if he fails to get position here, Justin Bergman can, he'll feel like
Right.
the penalty wasn't so severe, huh?
Wasn't as bad as he was feared. It looked like it could be match over if Boosty gets the angle on the 6, go into the 8. Boosty's looking at the combination, 15-4. If he can get the cue ball there. He'll also try to power up and get on the 1.
He might be able to go 2 rails and get to it.
What's he got here? Did he get the 8? I think he might have got to the 8, Nick. Holy moly.
I can't tell. He's looking at it, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I don't think he would have been that far off if he was trying to get to the combination.
Yeah.
So he didn't use any side spin. That was straight high in an effort to get this exact result. Now, if he can park the cue ball there, he'll have the 4. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Utter control and devastation. Boosty's playing for 3. They're all out there and available now. And you really described it earlier when you said how well Bustamante's executing. And we've seen it throughout the 2 matches that we've broadcast here.
Well, there's one thing that all games are the same, as he who executes the best usually wins. All games have that same common denominator.
Yes. Particularly in one pocket, there isn't much luck in it. It's hard to get lucky. And Justin's going to concede the last ball. A super well-played match. Boosty shakes his fist.
Tell you what, these last 2 matches, Bustamante's put on a clinic on one pocket. These last 6 games, his opponents haven't been getting very many good looks.
And he took down 2 great players, 2 great one-pocket players. He took down Josh Roberts and now Justin Bergman, who still has a buyback, mercifully. But Bustamante definitely looks like the man to beat in this event today, doesn't he?
Yeah, right at this point in time, he looks like it looks like he can. He plans on trying to get to that top prize the way he's playing. Yeah.
Well, you can't play any better. This has been the Accu-Stats video production. Any rebroadcast or republication without written permission is expressly prohibited. Thank you for joining us. So long and drive safe.
Introducing Lucasi Hybrid, a whole new level of performance and technology. A cue with the revolutionary X-Shocks dampening system, eliminating vibration. G5 grip technology for enhanced traction and stability results in maximum cue control. Total sweet spot construction means unmatched power. And the Zero Flex Point ferrule provides dead-on accuracy, giving you the confidence you need in every shot. Lucasi Hybrid, the only cue that matters.